right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Market Prep. I hope you're having an amazing morning. Hopefully, you guys had an incredible day yesterday. Good morning, Peter. How are you doing today?
I am doing better today than yesterday. Thank you. So, did you guys miss me, or do you want Megan back?
I think we like you, Peter. We like you, Peter.
Okay. All right.
You
Well,
know
I
that.
appreciate that.
Yeah. It's a tough question to ask the crowd first thing in the morning.
Well,
But I
I
think
just
everybody appreciated Megan waking up so early.
I
But I don't think even
I
Megan
know
wants to
she
be
did an
back that
awesome
early.
job. Yeah, Megan's
Yeah,
always fantastic and
yeah.
amazingly energetic for an ungodly hour on the West Coast that she joins us
Ungodly
from.
hour is sure, man. Yeah. Friends, let's get over to our economic data. PCE inflation coming out right now. I see the numbers have been released. Spies reacting. Peter, how's that looking this morning?
Yeah, a little bit of a mixed picture here. So we could start with you mentioned PCE. Absolutely, PCE data came out. So we'll start with the core PCE, which pretty much was right on target. The month over month index was a little lower than forecast, 0.2% versus 0.3, but the year over year stayed stable at a 2.8% increase. So again, that tells me it's pretty much on target. We also have the non-core regular PCE index, which again, numbers were exactly on target. Personal spending also came out. It was slightly below target, but not by much. 0.3% growth was the forecast. 0.2% was the actual number. All in all, not much news there. And frankly, I haven't even fired up my platform yet. What is the market doing? Probably not much would be my guess. But the only other number we have coming out today is right after the open, which is the Chicago PMI business barometer. It doesn't have a major market impact. And on a day like today, remember, shortened week, we've been seeing, I have no clue what happened yesterday. But earlier this week, we were seeing, sort of lower than average volumes. I expect it to continue to be fairly quiet. So, yeah, the SPY and the Qs actually did pop. I'm a little surprised to see this move up, but not really in a lot of volume. So it's unlikely to hold that gain. So, we'll see what happens this morning. I was checking earnings earlier, and I called it up like 3 times because I thought, is this the right list? Wait, hold on a second. There's got to be more on the earnings list than this, but apparently not. There's virtually no earnings this morning, so looks like it's going to be a quiet one. Carlos, we're going to have to dig into our own personal reserves to find stocks to talk about.
Yeah, it sure will be. I see the SPY reacting a little bit here. Let's see if that's going to hold. We did have a good type sell-off yesterday on many stocks, so maybe with this, you can get a little bit of a bounce. Now, seeing that things are somewhat, not too dramatic this morning. Already, Nvidia reacting nicely here. They're up 2% almost. They had a nice sell-off yesterday, so coming back from that, and almost all tech taking a bit of a hit. So, will be interesting today as far as those secondary plays on AMD, Nvidia, and just all tech. And then, like you said, man, we'll look at our gappers list and see what we can pull off here out of that list that we like this morning. Good morning, guys, over on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Hit that thumbs up. Really appreciate it. TJIF, to Melanie, of course. And you got the right answer, Peter, you were looking for. Leonardo says, here's my answer. How about a 3-person show? That is the correct answer. That is the correct answer. So good for you.
Yeah,
All right.
that would be
Yeah.
cool. I mean, we can't just keep adding people infinitely, but sure, we should try it someday. See what we can throw off all of the, plans and screens. But there you go.
Yeah.
Random note here, because it was interesting. My wife was in the office this morning as I was doing some work, asking me questions. She's like, "What the heck is on your screen?" I'm like, "Look, I made a mistake." Carlos, remember when we had earnings from Temu? But Temu was a subsidiary of JD, I think. I can't remember what company, but remember we talked about it and I showed
JD
you
or
that.
Baba, one of those. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was PDD. Yeah, maybe it was PDD. Anyways,
I think it's
whatever it was,
PDD.
PDD, you
Yes.
guys are saying.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I made the mistake, of course, on clicking on something. Now I've got nonstop Temu ads everywhere. What was
What's the
sort of
ticker on
funny
that?
was
PDD.
they clearly don't know what I want, so they're going to throw everything at me. Remember, I was looking at the coffee mug, the guy in the coffee mug, it looked like the Photoshop thing. And
Yeah.
anyways, apparently they think I need either some support bras or men's onesies. a la Borat. So this is what has been advertised to me this morning. I'd show it to you, but there's no way in heck I'm clicking on one of those ads again. So
Yeah, don't do that. That's only going to confirm their thoughts there and get you even
yeah,
more into a rabbit hole.
it's it's just
Yeah,
crazy the stuff that they advertise, and I assume people buy, but I don't know. It's
with the amount of advertising, I'm sure there's some people falling into that. That
okay.
there has
Apparently, I
to
have to
be.
stop saying the name because now Jennifer's saying I'm making her phone advertise to her. So we'll stop saying that. Yes, sorry, everybody. It's I don't want to cause that to happen, but it's just it's amazing. You know, we say it over and over again. Oh, this technology, it's always listening to us, right? It's tracking us, and we know it. Do we do anything about it? No, we keep using it. So
Yeah.
we complain, and yet here we are. So
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's just one of those things. Like, listen, just know it's happening, be aware of it, and just don't fall for it. Don't buy things you don't need. Right. That's the key thing. All right, here, friends. Let's take a look at our gappers list this morning.
what? That
We
sounds
have a couple.
anti-American, Carlos. Can I just say? With
Don't buy things you don't need.
yeah,
Yes,
consumerism.
save that money. I mean, I'm saying that, but I buy so much crap. All right, let's get to our gappers list.
Yeah.
DHAC this morning here, up 30% here, leading the way, and then SMMT leading the gap down 25%. So we got a couple of names on there. Again, the tech yesterday did sell off quite a bit. And we'll see some of those bouncing today here on our gap up list. So we'll look at those. Good volume already this morning. And of course, Bob and some other ones in the gap down list. So we got some pretty good names. Let's get to them. Control A, Control X is going to clean up our watch list from yesterday. I could see some of those names coming back on this list here. And let's take a look at Gap putting this name in the first spot here. GPS actually leading the way now, up 25%. 488,000 shares traded, and this must be earnings. I have not looked at this yet, but it has to be because there's no other time this thing moves. Yeah, look at last night. So Peter, how did they make out yesterday?
Well, they announced last quarter, so the fourth quarter of last year, that they were investing in a turnaround plan where they were going to revitalize the company and turn it around. And they had a good quarter with their earnings results that were announced last night after the close. And of course, they are claiming, it's proof of success of their turnaround plan and how effective it is. Now, I say all that because I am, of course, always skeptical about things. And knowing how corporations work, I honestly don't believe that in 3 to 4 months, you could see significant positive results out of a turnaround plan, really. But you know what? They're going to take any gain and call it part of the successful plan because it's all about the marketing. What's great about Gap this morning is look where they are sitting on the daily. This range is awesome, I think, on the daily. And as you can see, we're close to this recent highs. I actually don't know if that is all-time highs or not. We'd have to look that up. But I think it might be, in fact.
No,
And if it
I
is,
see
anyways, I
this
love
high.
all-time
Yeah,
high trades because it's sort of there's no levels up there, right? You can basically go as high as you want after that breakthrough. It seems to me that they should have been higher. Yeah, they were definitely higher back in
yeah, they were higher,
2021
40,
and
45.
earlier. But
Yeah,
anyways, it's a recent high, and that breakthrough at that level though could be important. So I think the gap is worth watching this morning. I mean, not huge volume. We're only looking at 500,000 shares so far. So I'd want to see a little more volume between now and the open, basically twice that, about 1 million shares. If that happens, then I'll be very interested in it for the open. If it doesn't, then I'll be slightly less interested, but probably still watch it.
Yep, I agree. 1999. Yeah, they had their all-time highs 1999. I think I was buying Gap around that time. Or at least my mom was buying it for me. So, yeah, sounds about right. All right, let's take a look here. What's next this morning? DHAC, which is one that's been up and down between the first spot and the second spot here. Gavin up 26%, 565,000 shares traded. Hard to borrow. It just looks very ugly here, guys. We're going to roll out the first garbage truck this morning. Very nice and early. It just looks brutal, man. So trash. Peter, I'm sure you don't like this digital health stuff, but what's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, we've seen this one on our list before. It's not the first time we've had this Digital Health Acquisition Corp on it, which is weird. Like it's this shell company that's got less than 1 million shares, and I don't like it. period. But I mean, look at the candles on it, right? Look at today's candle already. I mean, if that
Yeah.
doesn't like terrify you, then I don't know what else to tell you to get you out of this stock where it was as high as 1450 earlier today, which we have to keep in mind. That's like I don't know. It's just such a range on things. It's you got to be very careful about stocks that are moving. Sorry, it was as high as I was looking at the wrong thing here. I was looking at the daily. What do we went to a high
35
of?
today.
20,
Less today 35 today.
35. Like what?
35. Yeah.
So a stock that closed at $15 hit a high of $35. It's now sitting at $19. I mean, it just screams, stay away. Like my money
Yeah.
is terrified of this stock, and I'm not putting it anywhere near it.
Yeah. All right, we'll pass on that one, guys. Let's look at DJT. This is Trump media. So Trump media is up, say, 4.3, given all the events happening here in New York. That's all New York is talking about, by the way. It's a Trump case and the verdict. They are up here 5.1, 500. Oh, yeah, it's all over everything, of course, being so close to home. Here across the bridge, it's all is happening around here in this morning and last night. So yeah, Trump media up 4.4. I guess they like what has happened. I mean,
I don't know, man. I'm stunned.
Some publicity is good
certainly
publicity.
last night, I caught the news with everything else that was happening. So former President Trump was guilty, or the jury decided he was guilty in all 34 counts. And as I would expect, then DJT dropped overnight. However, in the early trading this morning, as we can see, it's regained that and in fact gone green. So I don't know what's insanity. I don't know what to say. However, there might be trading opportunity. Again, volume is actually surprisingly low on this. I would have thought to move this as it has, you would have needed, more volume. We're sitting at 570,000 shares. Once again, sort of the same position as the gap. I'd want to see this almost double between now and the open. So if we get to around 1 million shares, it'll be much more interesting. But I got to believe this is going to be interesting to watch, especially being that what I don't know, I didn't look into this. When is sentencing? It's probably not for another week or two.
July,
right?
Yeah, July something. I forget the date. Yeah.
July?
Yeah.
Why so long? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
so
July 11th, right, Kevin? Yep.
July 11th. Okay. So
we got to get to the 4th of July weekend, Peter. That's right. We got to get through that without making any noise. Let's get through summer. Let's get to July.
All right. Well, what that means then is, okay, if it's not happening imminently, then there's no expectation for DJT to move quickly. Like it could get support. People could decide they're going to rally behind this, whatever. But it probably means that we're not going to see as sharp a move as if sentencing was happening in the next 2 days or something like that. Right. So
yeah, exactly.
So I don't know what to make of this. Like I said, I want to see more volume. If I don't see the volume, I'll be very skeptical. I'll probably watch it. It's sort of like watching a train wreck in slow motion, right? You just want to see what's going to happen. A little bit of rubbernecking on it. So I'll put it on my list, but I'm very doubtful that
It's hard to trade. Yeah, it's hard to trade. We've seen it with more volume and do actually trade better. And even then, it was difficult to find opportunities. If you're a scalper, if you're scalping heavily, getting in and out quickly, there is great opportunities if we get the volume, right? You need the volume. But if you're looking for a specific strategy, like a 5-minute ORB, like I do, or a mountain pass like you do, Peter, those don't play out very well in these type of stocks. They just don't set up that way. They're more momentum scalp, get in, out, get in quickly, get out even quicker if things start turning against you. So if you're that type of trader, this could be great for you. If you're not, then this is when you pass on, right? So let's take a look at CleanSpark up next. I cast CleanSpark. I got Mara, I got Ryan. So Bitcoin obviously doing some stuff here this morning. They're up 2.7, 313,000 shares traded. CleanSpark is probably one of my least favorites out of all of these. Mara, Riot, and even Coin are likely to be on my list. Peter, anything overall Bitcoin related happening this morning?
If you look at the Bitcoin chart, which we did at the beginning of the week, remember I said it was sort of in a range and we want to see it break out of that range. Well, it has just continued all week. I mean, it has not broken that range. Now it's at the top end of the range, which is what is putting these stocks onto our list today, but it has truly been stuck. I mean, basically we have 2 weeks, right, where it's just been in this very, very sort of narrow band. So who knows? I mean, it could break at any time, up or down. But at the moment, we're not seeing any particular, catalyst for that to happen. So, what we all know about Bitcoin, though, is that we will never hear about the catalyst in advance, like a lot of things, of course. But we'll find out after the fact, and usually the catalyst happens after hours in the evenings. That's when Bitcoin gets its big moves, and then we just sort of come back to see it having gapped up or down heavily. And you notice the last couple of times it's gapped, it's been up. But it doesn't take, you don't have to go back very far to find times where it was, gapping and moving down. Now, gapping is sort of a relative term because remember, Bitcoin sort of trades on a 24-hour clock. So it's a little bit different of an animal. But from our point of view, we're trading the stocks that are in turn leveraging Bitcoin mining, which is the Mara, the Clean Spark, the Riot, the stocks like that. So.
Yeah. Mara this morning with some volume, not great volume, only 537,000. Let's take a look at how coin looks right now. Coin at the moment, again, they're all gapping up, but there's really not a significant amount of volume, especially on Mara, which they get great volume pre-market. I'm not seeing that. So I'll do this. I'm going to add Mara on here. I'll leave the hashtag BTC ticker here as well, so we can see if anything comes up out of this. But at the moment, they're not looking very explosive. I want to see more volume on that a little bit later if we can. Let's head down over to NVIDIA today. NVIDIA up 2.4, 1.7 million shares traded. That is looking nice. So I like what I'm seeing here this morning. Yesterday, Peter, I know you missed the trading, but man, it gave us a really nice move towards the downside there. Big drop at the market open, went sideways for a bit, tested the view up here for a while, and then another big drop into the close. So again, it's I say big drop, but the average true range on this thing is like $30 per day, right? So it's not that big once you put it in that perspective, but at least tradable.
Yeah, I see that it diverged from like AMD yesterday, for example, which AMD did also sort of end up moving down off the open, but made a big rally from low to
Yeah.
high of day. Great move there, but then lost it all right back down to the low by the close. So yeah, weird trading action on AMD yesterday. It looks like there was some opportunity if you were watching it carefully. So
Yeah. I like AMD as well. I'm going to put it here as a secondary. Not as much explosive volume as NVIDIA right now, but I think they'll, as usual suspect that always might get the volume. So here we have it, AMD, Mara, and Bitcoin on our secondary list this morning. Heading back to our gap up, let's take a look over at, I think that's it. I think that covers it. One that just sneaked in here, ASTS. And this one, it fooled me. I'll admit it. It fooled me 2 days ago. It had an amazing trading day. I completely dismissed. I thought it was going to be garbage, but this garbage can actually trade it well. So it had a great trading day. This would have been Wednesday. What did it do yesterday? I still didn't watch it yesterday. I'm so busy with NVIDIA and AMD and some other ones.
didn't look like it did much yesterday.
See, this is its true colors here. This is what it's really like, right? So they had one day of glory, and that day might probably be done. So 281,000 shares traded now, so not a whole lot going on. I think just got to be careful. You need volume on this one, and it's not a low flow, by the way. It's 215 million, if you're wondering. So it does have some meat to it. It's not shouldn't like drive you crazy with the volatility. Peter, anything new on this? A continuation news that we might want to be aware of, or?
I mean, if you remember the news that we were talking about 2 days ago, it was all about their deal with Verizon and how they're, going to be providing 100% coverage to continental U.S. for cell phone service from their satellite network. I mean, I think that's news that's going to keep feeding this for quite a while, but nothing new on it that I've seen. So. Like you said, Carlos, its true colors are probably pretty dull trading for the most part. Interesting stock potentially over the long term. This is one that's either going to do really, really well or, pun sort of intended, crash and burn, right? So depends on how those satellites stay in orbit. So we'll see what happens. But from a trading perspective, I don't think this is going to be fun.
Yeah, I'll be cautious. I'm not going to watch. I'll skip on that one. And that completes our gap up list. Peter, anything on your end that you like that might not be on this gap up list this morning?
Well, we already talked about Nvidia and AMD. Of course, I like those. They regularly have good movement, and this morning they look like they're continuing that trend. Tesla, as always, continues to look good this morning. And not much to report on Tesla. By the way, I don't think there's any news on it. It just was moving here a little bit, like it usually does. And I did have one others, but I forgot to write it down. What was I looking at early this morning? Oh, we already talked about it. That's right. I wasn't sure if it was on the gappers list. DJT was the other one that we'd already discussed. So yeah, other than that, no.
Yeah, yeah. I like Tesla. Tesla yesterday actually was one of the ones that traded very, very well and very clean. Gave you everything you wanted here, up and down, backups. I mean, that was awesome. And it did it with great volume, guys. Like I think like almost 2 million shares every 5 minute candle. So that's a lot of volume that you can enjoy some good volatility and price action on. So I have them on my list again today. Today, though, look at the volume, very light, only 700,000. It's already almost nine here, 9 minutes to nine. Usually we'll see more volume by now, but nevertheless, I think this is one that can trade very well. And we're still stuck. Megan spoke about this yesterday, right? Kind of stuck between these levels here of 180-ish to 170, I think 3 or something. So it's just been bouncing back and forth on that. Let's see if any kind of breakout can happen today. So that's looking nice. Let's head over to our gap down this morning, SMMT. What is this? Summit
AMD.
Therapeutics. Wow, look at the
Yeah.
day yesterday. Oh, it's not as yeah, it's not. This is I don't know if yeah, this is ugly. Peter, this is like brutal. So if you look at the daily, it looks like it's clean, $3 to $11. You look under the hood and this is what you get. Pure garbage there. So Peter, what's your thoughts on this? Anything happening today?
We have seen this a few times over the years on our list, and I've never liked it. So, um, they had data that was reported early this morning from the phase 3 treatment trial for something they're calling NSCLC, which I'm sure stands for something non-small cell lung cancer. All right. Now, it says that it met the primary endpoint. And of course, the release from the company was all positive about their phase 3 trial. But somebody's not buying it, clearly, because we're seeing a little bit of a gap down. Now, that being said, it could just be that I'm only seeing the news from early this morning, and then it traded up on that news, and then this is just a little bit of a pullback against it, because obviously we're still up from the $3 price it was hanging out at for the last couple of days. So, Carlos, I mean, we're basically looking at a second day play, and like you said, some of the price action isn't all that pretty. So, I'm not sure what to make of this. I mean, it's typically the type of stock that I don't spend a lot of time with because I don't trade. But if you're into these risky stocks, this may be in play. I mean, we've got 1.8 million shares traded so far this morning, and the early morning price action is very flat, but consistent. So there may be some opportunity here if this is the type of stock you like to trade. But I want to be clear, it's not going anywhere near my list. And
Yeah,
Manfred,
yeah.
yeah, for what that's worth, you are correct. That study was in China. I did see that news came out of China. I'm not sure how much that affects the trading results in the stock, right? Wherever the trial is held, but we can all sort of just between us chickens here agree to be suspicious of the Chinese trial.
Yeah. Um, Heading over to the next one is going to be S, and this is SentinelOne. They are down 16%, and they all started last night, looks like here. And they're continuing to even dive lower this morning. So typically not a stock that gets volume, but today I gotta say that they do look interesting. The float on this one is what are we looking at? This is 200
Uh,
200 million.
it's
Oh, it's
not
just a
bad.
large float. This looks good.
260 million.
I
Yeah.
like this. Yeah, gonna add it
Yeah.
on here. Peter, what's the
Uh,
news? Earnings?
They had earnings after the close yesterday. Good quarter. They beat their numbers, but as usually happens, it's the forecast that drives things. So they called off their revenue forecast, are expecting lowered revenue for the balance of the year, at least for the next 2 quarters, they've said, which is certainly going to bring down their full year forecast. So that's why they're gapping down so heavily, despite the good news on the quarter. So yeah, we'll see what happens when the opening bell rings. This is another one of these sort of weird ones. The one-letter tickers, I don't know. It's a bold call to use a one-letter ticker, I think, because it's harder for people to find your stock. I don't ever find it heavily traded. It's a nicey stock. So we've talked about this in the past, but just to be clear, a New York Stock Exchange stock trades slightly different because of the way the market makers manage it. And unless you're getting massive volume through it, it can be tricky. You got to be careful in this one because I'm only seeing 360,000 shares. And what you may see is a lack of volume right at the open, and then it'll come in 1, 2, or 5 minutes after that open when the market maker decides to make their move and set a direction for this. And then we'll see this thing either pop or drop. So, maybe it's a possibility, but I'm not loving it at this point.
Yeah. I like it just because how big the drop is. I don't know how well it's going to trade because, again, we usually don't look at this stock. I'm going to put it on here. Is it going to stay on my main list? Not sure. Once you start looking at our usual suspect that have been so good to us this week, it's hard to watch other stuff. It really is. Look, talking about one of them that's been trading well over the last couple of days is Dell, right? So if you look at Dell here, they're down today, 16.5 after such a nice rally over the last almost all of May. So here to close out the month, they're giving a lot of it back. So I like it here. 1.9 million shares traded. Peter, what's the news on the Dow? I mean, last night,
Well,
big drop.
yeah, we have to. Yeah, Carlos, this is one that we have to. I think we have to admit to everybody that we missed, right? So, because remember it came up about a week ago. We looked at it and said, not loving Dell, and then it made some good moves for a couple of days.
Yeah.
So, so there was definitely trading opportunity. Now, whether that continues today, I mean, we've got a sort of a big gap down as it's giving back a lot of the gains it made over the last few weeks. They had given some upbeat guidance, and people were thinking that they were making AI plays, and they were sort of talking all the right talk. Overnight last night, though, they did have, I think they actually released their earnings. Is that right? Let me make sure here. Yeah, they did have their earnings after the close yesterday. So this is when everybody was expecting to see they put their money where their mouth was. And because I didn't actually see the earnings results, I just saw that they basically provided a lowered guidance. So you had all these expectations going into earnings, and then the guidance disappointed. So I think on their earnings, looks like now that I'm seeing the news here, it looks like they actually beat their Q1 numbers, but are more or less telling us it was a little bit of an aberration, right? We beat our numbers. However, we're not seeing a very positive full year picture here, and they actually lowered that full year guidance. So as you can see, the market is very upset by that because they'd been building in lots of upside. So there might be an opportunity on Dell today, right? I mean, I'm hesitant to call it off because, well, normally Dell's not a stock that I love. We already have 2 million shares on it, and this gap is pretty significant. I mean, we're talking about $28 and 17%. So I think Dell's worth keeping an eye on.
Yeah, I'm gonna have it on my list. I like the volume down 16%. Michael Dell's gonna have to start wearing leather jackets when he gives his CEO speeches on these earnings. That's gonna help a lot. It does for Nvidia. Let's take a look at TRMD this morning. These guys are down 5%, 228,000 shares traded, but they just look brutal. And I think we've seen this before. I don't like it as much, guys. So I'm gonna keep it off my list. Peter, do you like this one today?
No, not at all. I don't remember seeing this one before. Torm, it's a UK oil and gas distribution company. It looks like it's oil and gas midstream. So I assume that they either run a pipeline or whatever they're doing, or a refinery. I'm not sure, but I don't like it. Whatever they do, I still don't like it.
Yeah. I don't like it either. Moving on down, guys. XPEF. So XPEF making our list. We got a couple of Chinese tickers here. XPEF, JD, and Bamba all on deck this morning. just down between 3% and 2% there. If we look at XPEP right now, what is going on here this morning? We are down slightly 2.7, 308,000 shares traded. It's really not doing a lot, right? It's just barely making our gappers list. I don't like the way this pre-market action looks, and that's really not a whole lot of volume for XPEP. Is there any news on overall China? I mean, I see a lot of these stocks down today, but Baba looks good. Baba's got volume. That's the one I probably like this
Uh,
morning.
Yeah, I mean, on the EV side, it's the usual reports on companies. People are doing all sorts of analysis and making their bets. There was an article this morning that said that that this analyst, anyways, believed that XPEV and BYD were going to be big winners in the EV market in China, and NIO is going to be a big loser. Now, clearly somebody's not buying that story because XPEV is on the wrong gap list for that to have taken. So,
Yeah, yeah.
it's whatever. From the Chinese retail, I can only believe, Carlos, is because we are not clicking on those ads enough.
You are not clicking on the Temu ads, and yeah,
They're
that
they're
that will
spending
that
all
will
their
hurt.
money to try and get my eyeballs, and I'm not clicking anymore. So I think they made a big investment in me because they just keep advertising the heck out of me, and I'm not going to say the name anymore
They're
because
not getting their
apparently that just
return.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's got to be
they're
it.
not getting the return on
No.
you. That's gonna drive their business down here. Um, yeah, it's slight
Well,
gaps up and
it's the
down,
onesies
maybe.
DXB day trader the man's thing that they're advertising. I honestly think they're covering their bets because they're just throwing everything at me now. Right? It's got to buy something.
Yeah, yeah. Um, all right, friends. I like Bob. I'm going to put that on the list there. I like the volume, 1.1 million shares, and it's down 2.1. They normally can trade very well, and they have been trading a little better over the last couple of weeks, right? So we're seeing the dailies get a little bit wider, and that's also fun. The volume, a couple of spikes in the volume, and they have some really good trading days. So I'll keep an eye on them today, see if anything can come out of that. That kind of covers
The
the gap up list. I have one more that I haven't seen here, and go ahead, Peter.
I was just going to say on China news, it's been suspiciously quiet with the military action that was happening around Taiwan and the South China Sea. Apparently, maybe China has made their point because they've been able to require some talks to happen that apparently will be happening in the coming months. They haven't been any more specific than that, but it looks like the U.S., Singapore, China are all going to be involved in these conversations. So, anyways, China definitely has people's attention with what's likely to happen out there. But what it means for stocks, tough to tell, right? It feels like everything's in a little bit of a waiting period. And when you're in a waiting period, anticipating bad news, you tend to see stocks like we're seeing with Baba and PDD and some others just sort of start to slide a little bit, right? Because people are uncertain. They may start hedging their bet. They may say, we're just going to move somewhere, some of the money a little bit safer. But the risk on that side is, as we've seen many a time, if you get just a sniff of good news, this thing can shoot up, right? Like very quickly. So, Carlos, like you said, if you're going to keep an eye on it, it's probably a good move because you just never know when something can happen, good or bad, on this.
Yeah, yeah. Also taking a look at the SPY quickly here. So it's still up slightly, trying to hold that. Let's see if it turns around. It did hit a little bit of resistance at 525 right now, and then kind of taking a step back. So we'll see how that maintains here in a couple of minutes. Last one on the list, it disappeared again. So it's coming on and off, and I just looked at it. It looks like crap. It's CRBG. It's just really not in play. Tons of volume, but I mean, this is just not really tradable. All right, Peter, let's head over to you. What do you like this morning that might not be on our gap up list?
Yeah, I was looking at the CRBG Corbridge Financial. Looks like they had a secondary offering, so even the news is not good. Well, Carlos, I think I've already mentioned the things that I was looking at. So the semiconductors with the AMD and NVIDIA. One of our members mentioned Intel. I was taking a look at Intel just a few minutes ago. They're right that there's good volume on it this morning. It's not really going anywhere. It's basically come back to break even. 3.6 million shares, though, on Intel. So yeah, I mean, surprising volume actually on it. I don't know why. I don't know why we've got the volume without any movement. So, not my favorite. Even with this volume, still not my favorite. I'd probably go back to some of the other semiconductors. So, but it's worth mentioning anyways because it has such volume.
Yeah.
Anyways,
All right. Let's get. Let's
um,
get.
yeah, I got nothing else.
Okay. Friends, let's see what you guys have this morning. Our list right now, it's okay, not a blockbuster list. We have a lot on the gap up and down scanners, but there's not a lot that looks great on here so far. So let's take a look at what you guys like this morning. ZS, let's take a look at ZS. Oh, no, 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 no. Up 16.3, 186,000 shares traded. Looks like earnings last night. See, Z Scalar, we'd seen them before. For me, they don't trade very well, very light on volume. And I think today's going to be no difference, even with this gap up. So again, depending on your trading strategy, be very careful with this one. I won't be having this one on my list, Tyler. I just don't like the way it looks. Gap, you know what? Gap, I didn't. We talked about it. I did not add it to my list, but I liked them somewhat here this morning. So they don't trail that well. So you got to be careful. They're a retailer store, nicey stock. I'll put them on my secondary list because I do want to see what they do here. But for the most part, they're not the best trader. But I agree. This gap up of 26% is very nice. I think if they're going to trade today, it's going to be their day to do so, right? So they're hitting this area of resistance up here a couple of days back in. It looks like in late March. So yeah, I like them for all of that, but I know that this stock you got to be careful if they can be very, very choppy at the market open. CRM, did they keep going any lower? I mean, I know they got crushed yesterday. What did they do here this morning? CRM, 261,000, which is typical volume for them. Great day yesterday. Can we get another day like this today? I don't know. I don't know. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. I do like this one for a secondary play. I think this was a very harsh overreaction. The market, the way it is right now, if you're not hitting it out the park, if you're coming, with something squirrely, you're gonna get crushed, and they got crushed yesterday for that. And it was Megan mentioned it was the first time that they reported a negative guidance in like 2 decades. So it's give the guys a break. They've been doing well, but no, 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 no cake for you. So there it is, down quite a bit. I'm gonna have them on my secondary. My sons and my son and my daughter are saying that now. When one of them gets in trouble, no cake for you with that same. I'm like, where did they get that from? I don't know where they saw this, but it is the funniest thing ever. So no cake for this ticker here. We got to get some memes
They're
on
learning
that.
about Marie Antoinette in school or some little
Yeah,
history or something. Yeah,
I
seems
don't know where they
early for
got it
that.
from. So every
Yeah.
time I ask them, they just laugh. MRVL, there's another one being mentioned here this morning, and a big move, decent move today so far in the pre-market. They're down 1.1. They were down even much, much lower. They recovered from the pre-market low so far this morning. Um, we've seen this plenty of times, Peter. I don't like them
Yeah.
per se to trade,
It,
so
it
I'm not
usually just
inclined.
shows up on earnings. It's usually not a great trading stock. It always looks good pre-market, or it often does, but I don't know that I've ever even traded it. So they're another one that they're saying the right stuff. They're talking AI. They had some earnings. I mean, their earnings, by the way, were not spectacular. So um, they sort of missed their numbers in the last quarter that were announced after the close yesterday. So I don't like it anyways.
Yeah. Everybody's commenting. It sounds like sounds for yeah. We know where no soup for you is. The no cake is what I don't know, but yeah, no soup is definitely a classic. All right, let's check over on our YouTube chat, friends. If you haven't done so already, hit that thumbs up over on YouTube. We're sitting here. I have 135, but I'll refresh to make sure we're moving here. So 134 actually. Hit that thumbs up. Help us get to our goal this Friday of 300 likes. That is where we like to be. With your help, if you can do that, really appreciate it. Over in our YouTube chat, some tickers. Gap, yeah, we put Gap on the list. It's on here on my secondary. CLSK, we looked at it. I'm gonna go with Mara. Peter, are you gonna have any Bitcoin tickers on your list this morning?
No,
No, no Bitcoin for you.
no.
And let's see here. Dell, we looked at Dell. We actually have Dell. I think Dell, the volume, the movement is good here. And like Peter said, we missed it a couple of times. We did trade very, very well. We're not going to make the same mistake today. Let's see here. I think we're pretty much covered here, friends. Hold on a second. Why is my mouse acting up? There we go. All right, so I think we're good. Let's head over to what's coming up for the next 2 weeks. Guys, you can always check this out over at bearbootraders.com. Go over to the top where it says webinars, and you can see what's happening for the next 2 weeks in our community.
So we have a regular slate of activities that you need to be aware of. So let me just do the rundown, and you can make a decision as to what you want to watch. Monday, we have our onboarding class back at a regular time, regular schedule. Carlos leads that at 8 o'clock. It's a great introduction to everything that we have to offer in the community. And if whether you're new or just want a refresher, we encourage you to go. Tuesday, we have our strategy and trade book session. Thank you for those that did this week. So we had an early week with a bunch of our sessions this week, but we're back to regular schedule, starting with, well, looks like we've, have we changed this up? I'm not sure. But anyways, Megan is going to be leading with an 8 o'clock session on how to maximize a small account. You do need to trade slightly differently if you're using a small account. She's going to talk to you about how you can maximize your value and take advantage of it, leveraging options. So that'll be at 8 o'clock this coming Tuesday at in the chat room, or sorry, in the webinar room. Thor will take over for the week after, talking about the mental art of taking trades. That's on Tuesday, June the 11th. Once again, 8 o'clock, the timing for that. Wednesday, we talk psychology. This coming Wednesday, we'll have Dr. Kenneth Reed with us talking about how you can make one good entry. We sort of talked about this. It's a great philosophy to have. And I was actually talking to someone about Mike Bellafiore's book, One Good Trade, from which this is sort of coined. But anyways, so this will be a great session, and Dr. Kenneth Reed, of course, will put his own spin on that. The week after, Susan, our very own Susan, is going to be with us talking about how you can manage self-mastery, and she does a lot of work for us on P Capital Trading, looks at hundreds and hundreds of trade books, and she's going to talk about how you can leverage your own personal discipline to create self-mastery and mental strength. So that'll be on Wednesday, the 12th of June. On Thursdays, we do our mentorship sessions. We have 4 of them, and they start with John at 11 a.m., move over to the options conversation with Jared and Megan at 2 p.m., back to stocks with Lenny at 4, and then, of course, we close out the day with Thor at 8 p.m. So hopefully you'll put all 4 of those on your calendar, and you can attend them as you see fit. I'm going to take this opportunity to give a shout out. I was with a lot of family yesterday, and I was surprised a number of friends and family, a few that said that they dial in. A few traders amongst the group, and we're saying that they dial in the morning. So if you're out there, you know who you are, especially the boyfriend of my lovely niece who has been borrowing some books from me, and we've been talking stocks. So if you're listening out there, shout out to you there this morning. So hope you have a great trading day. For all of you that are at Bearable Traders, well, we welcome you and love having you as part of the community. In fact, we'd love having more of you as part of the community. We have a number of membership options that you can take advantage of. If you want to, you can join us using the intro offer. That actually, if you're listening right now, you should take advantage of the YouTube offer. It's only $1. Check the YouTube feed. If you go in there into the comments, you'll see how you can get that $1 access. So instead of paying $39, you can get that 1 week access for just $1. And we only charge the $1 to keep the bots and the scammers away. So hopefully you'll take advantage of that. And we will promise not to upsell you on the other offers. They're there, but you won't be automatically rolled over to something that you don't want to buy. So you'll have to explicitly go buy one of the other offers. But if you're interested in doing that, then we have the basic early monthly packages, or of course the Elite Annual, where we still have our Memorial Day sale going, which is the best deal you'll get all year. Memorial 60 is the code you need to put in. Put in that promo code, and you will get this annual 1 year full access, all classes, all psychology webinars, all strategy webinars for that $9.99 price. So hopefully you'll consider joining us here in the chat room. And if you want information any time of day, 24/7, tradingterminal.com. They sponsor this pre-market show, and it's where we go to get our information on the market. So hopefully you consider using it as well. It's a great tool with all sorts of useful things. Click around there on that menu bar, and you will find all sorts of fascinating things, from the free scanners, which is a great resource, to the simulator. You can trade live on the on the simulator or the replay mode, where you can replay any stock in any day. As you can see here, we got the scanners up, and they're great, man. You can customize them to look whatever you want. This is not what the default looks like. This would be a customized view. We also have some right out of the box, where you got all sorts of different scanners, including high of day, turbo breakout. There you go. There's our default view with a whole bunch of different scanners you can get, or you can, like I said, customize it to your own fit. So it's a great, great tool, and so much information in there. So check it out, tradingterminal.com. All right, with that, we got a couple levels to set, Carlos, and a couple things to talk about. We'll see what our moderators are watching, and get ready for this live open trading, which we'll be doing as of 9:30. So let's start with levels.
Yeah. Looking forward to that, friends. That's great to hear, Peter, that some of your family members and friends are watching this show. That is awesome. Yeah, let's guys, the Memorial Day weekend sale, Memorial Day sale ends today, right? Today's the final day. That's what I'm being told. So make sure you take advantage of that if you're thinking about that. Yeah, I just saw it on the chat here. So yeah, take advantage of that, guys. If you do want to join, that is the way to do it. All right, friends, let's jump into our list here. I got NVIDIA, we have Tesla, we have which it's kind of suspect one here. We're not sure on it. We like what we see as far as the movement in the pre-market, but I'm in agreement with Peter. This can be a horrible one to trade today, but we'll see. Here's Dell, and then we also have Baba. So we'll do levels here, and then let's see what we can pick up off these. Man, look at NVIDIA just coming back. It is up 2.1 after a not aggressive, but a very significant sell-off as far as intraday movement yesterday, right? High of the pre-market, 1135, as we're climbing into this area where we're just kind of, a little bit stuck between the daily, as you can see here, right? Just kind of got a nice area of support and resistance over the last couple of days, and looking to get towards the top end of that area. Above that, here's your all-time highs right around this area. So it's not a whole lot to look to mark towards the top. I think once you mark down 1135, you're all set. Towards the bottom, good support right on here, previous day close, and the highs and lows for the last two trading days right on there around 1100. And then below that, we do have on the daily, it's going to be a 1065, and also right over here, 1030. So that's all you really have on NVIDIA. But again, pre-market action looking really, really nice this morning. Let's take a look at Tesla. So Tesla today, looking over here, we're stuck between the highs and lows of the last two trading days. As you can see here, just a lot of movement, but have not been able to break out of this area. Pre-market high today, we're going to mark that down at 1080.59. So we'll put a level there. And then towards the bottom, we're going to mark down 177.39 is your low of your pre-market. So once you do that, guys, you're pretty set in that area. Next thing I want to do on here, give me a second, just mess something up here on my end. Nothing to do with you guys. There we go. Next thing I want to do on here is look at the bigger picture outside of this range. I'm just going to mark two levels in case we really get going. This one right on here, you can see there's a couple of days just kind of slamming into that. So you definitely want to have that 184.71. And then towards the bottom, in case we do decide to head lower, and break through a lot of support that we have here. I mean, I don't think that's going to be happening unless something major has to happen with the overall market or news driven for Tesla to break through all of that. 171.47 is the next area where we're going to put a level. So there's Tesla. Volume is okay, starting to get above, close to that 1 million mark, but significantly lower than what we're used to seeing on Tesla in the pre-market. SentinelOne, this is our suspect stock, right? Not usual suspect stock, which is not a great thing. Love the pre-market 1591 as we continue to drop here, and down 18%. Volume close to 600,000. We're going to head over to the left here. Last time we've been in this area was November, October timeframe, right? So it's been a while since we hit these numbers, and you can see here, not a whole lot of volume on the daily. Today could be the exception. Next level, I see great level of support is 1517. So we'll have a level there, and then towards the top, we're going to mark down 17 '06, another great area in case we do decide to get a bounce here. 1791 also looking good. You can see how we flirted with that in the after hours yesterday. That's 1791 and also that's 1706. So obviously we're playing around with these levels this morning. Let's see if this thing can hold here. Again, I like the drop. I like the pre-market action after 8 a.m. Right, not before. This is garbage here, but after 8 a.m. looks pretty good. Let's see if that can trade well. Let's take a look at Dell. So Dell, we mentioned this is again, we missed a couple of great days. Dell really surprised us here, but let's see if today we can capitalize on any type of great moves. 150.20 is the high of the pre-market this morning. The low is going to be over a 140. And then if we look towards the bottom, we do have an area 134.80. And then right here at 126.37. Towards the top, above 150, we do have a 159.77. So I guess once you do that on Dell, you're pretty set. Again, it'll be a stretch to get to these extreme levels on the far end of the up and down charts here. But again, volume is there, guys. 2.3 million down 15%. I think we're going to see some really good action out of this. Tesla, any good news? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if Tesla has any good news. I don't know if that's a squeeze or if it's just stuck between these levels. I mean, if you look at the bigger picture, it's really just stuck. Like it just doesn't know what to do next. We need big news, one way or the other, to get this going in any type of direction. But it's been in this range for a very, very long time. If you remember, Tesla took a big drop, was trading wildly. Now it's kind of come down a little bit. It's been in this range since May. It really has not left this range. But within that range, we've been seeing some really good opportunities either way. All right, Dell, we're set. Last one but not least is going to be Baba. So Baba, pre-market actions, okay. I like the volume, but it doesn't look excellent, right? We've seen better pre-market activity out of them. 76.71 is the low of the pre-market on that one. And if we look to the left here, we're going to mark down 74.89 is a great one there. And then towards the left here, I think that's pretty much it. 72.85. That'll be a stretch. You need a lot of weakness to get to 72.85. Towards the top, you do have the highs and lows for the last two trading days, doing a great job there. So you're all set. Just in case it becomes explosive, we're going to mark down 81.15. We'll slam one there, and you are all set on the BABA this morning. So there you have it, friends. That is our watch list for today. I have NVIDIA, Tesla, SentinelOne, Dell, and Baba. And then I got some possibles on here, CRM, to see how that plays after such a drastic drop yesterday. Gap with a nice gap up. We have AMD, one of our usual suspects, getting some little bit of volume now. And then I have Mara. Volume is starting to pick up on Mara, guys. 730,000. So that is starting to look somewhat decent here. All right, let's take a look at our moderators list and what's there. Brian trading live today, this morning after 9:30. So he'll be on a couple of minutes, guys. So stay tuned. For those on YouTube, hit that thumbs up. We really appreciate it. It does help out the show a ton when you do that. So as you can see, we've been making a couple of upgrades to the way the screens look, the way there we go. Peter, the question is here, who is the better trader? I think I know who, but I want to see if you're going to be honest about your answer. I think that's more what I want to see. I think you're on mute if you are talking.
Me?
Yeah. Who's the better trader here?
Between who?
Between you
Everybody?
and that beautiful pup you got there. No. Between you and that pup you got there.
Oh, well, you know what? He's never lost money trading, so I guess he's got to be the better trader.
He's undefeated. He's undefeated. There you go.
I mean, he hasn't made any either, but he hasn't lost any. So he's doing
that's
good.
A win. That's a win. He's doing okay. He's batting 100. All right, friends. Let's take a look at our moderators list. Let's see what we got going on here. So Thor this morning. There it is. Thor looking at Dell, ZS, Microsoft, the SPY futures. Lenny will be looking at NVIDIA, Dell, Gap, ZS, and Zim. Abby today, AMD, Amazon, Tesla, NVIDIA, and also the SPY options there. Up here, we're looking at AMD, NVIDIA, Mara, and Dell. Mike will be looking at Dell and NVIDIA. I mean, everybody has Dell. I mean, today is Dell's day. Absolutely. Brian, the man of the hour, NVIDIA, Tesla, ZS, AMD, and Dell. No, I usually say no IPOs on a Friday, but there is one today. KDLY for today. So Peter, what's that? Kinley? Was that any kind of company we know, or?
No, I don't think so. I've been waiting for this for
Okay.
quite a while, so we'll see if it
Yeah.
actually opens today. But it looks like it will. It's been on and off the list for almost a month now, so I don't know what the delay has been, but
Oh,
we'll see if it
yeah.
opens. I will let you know. Yeah,
Okay.
Kinley MD. I don't know what this does, but
Yeah.
medical something.
Gotcha. Here is Megan looking at Gap in play today. Oh, sorry, I skipped your list, Peter. Peter, AMD, Nvidia, Tesla. Secondary list, Gap, Dell, DJT for fun. And Megan will be looking at Gap, GPS this morning. And Eamon watching Disney. It can be played both ways. So he'll be looking at that. Awesome, friends. Have Brian and I'm not sure who he's trading with, but Brian and another moderator will be trading today. Is it Lenny or Pierre? I know they switched their schedules, but one of those two guys will be joining us live now. So definitely don't
One of
miss
the
on
two.
that. They're up next. Yeah.
Lenny.
Have a great weekend, guys.
Lenny says the same.
Lenny? Excellent. So, guys, have an amazing weekend. Thank you for joining us this week. Remember, hit that thumbs up, and throughout the show, also a comment will be in the chat answering any questions you might have. Have an amazing weekend. We'll see you guys on Monday. Brian and Lenny up next.
Trade smart, everybody. We'll talk to you Monday. We need some transition music, Carlos.
We need something.
Oh, by the way,
see,
yeah.
But you know, the great thing about it is that I tell people we fix this thing and upgrade it as we're flying the plane, right? We get you on the engine, on the wing, Peter, to fix the engine. You know, that's how we do things here.
Yeah.
Brian, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, all.
Oh, it's Lenny.
Oh, there
I can't see who it is.
Yeah.
Lenny.
Yes.
By the way, guys, amazing to me. 303,000 subscribers for the Bearable Traders channel on YouTube.
I
so
don't know how
the growth has been phenomenal over the last few weeks. Just all credit to you guys. And welcome, by the way, if you're new. Love having you here. It's great to see so many people.
It is wild. Tesla by the end of next month, where we're going.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, well, it does mean, the more people, it does mean when Andrew gets back. By the way, somebody was asking earlier how Andrew's doing. We haven't really heard from him. We hope it's going well. I think, that's Brian. Maybe, Brian, if you're out there, you've got probably the most.
Yeah, Brian's not on yet.
I think it's been a couple of days since we heard from him. But we know he's going into a blackout as they make the summiting attempt. Obviously, there's less and less internet connectivity as you get deeper into the frozen wasteland of mountainscape. So, but hopefully he's doing well, and I'm looking forward to me back because we're going to be giving away stuff. Right, we're behind on a few laptops we've got to give away, so you stay tuned. I mean, we're still another week away from when we expect Andrew to be back. So, when that happens, it should be a lot of fun. He's going to be excited, I promise you, for the number of subscribers. And usually when that happens, especially if his summit was successful, he's going to be feeling generous. So we're going to make sure to prod him and goad him into giving away all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. We Tesla at 1 million subscribers, not 500. 1 million subscribers. He will be giving away a Tesla. So that's the promise. We'll make sure it happens. All right, Lenny, we'll switch over to you as we wait for Brian. But good morning to you. How are you doing?
All good, all fine, everything good here. Excited for the new trading day.
Excellent.
Yes. So thank you guys for the excellent pre-market preparation.
No worries. To a question somebody asked me in the room the other day, by the way, you can, if you are a Bearable member and you're part of the community, you can absolutely qualify for the free giveaways. You just have to be on the YouTube channel the morning at which he's giving it away, right? That's how we did it last time.
Yes.
That's how we anticipate doing it again next time. So as long as you're logged into the YouTube channel and your name's one of those that are active, post a couple of comments in there. It's always good. Put your name up front and center. You have a better chance of winning that prize. So that's how we'll be doing it. But again, we'll be taking those on when Andrew gets back. All right, we're less than a minute away from the open. So, Pierre, Lenny, what are you watching
Brian
in the
is
open?
on.
Because I'm looking at
Gap
drop here, big drop in the last couple of minutes, and Sentinel, which wasn't not really on my list, but also dropping. So we got a couple of things moving.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
it's
switch
very
over
weak.
to Brian and Lenny. They're on. Good morning, Brian. Take care, guys. Have a great weekend.
Good morning.
Good morning, Brian.
Good morning.
Morning. With just
So
20 seconds to the open.
things are dropping here.
Things are dropping, yes.
Indeed. Dropping a bit. All right. So let's get ready to rock and roll on a Friday.
Yes. I think Zim could be interesting. Just
I'm just
get
gonna
up.
let-
Markets open. Good luck all. Be very careful and enjoy.
Yeah, and just let things settle out a bit here, maybe.
Yes.
See scalar dropping a bit.
I think so. So where's the RVOL? Yes. Sim has a very strong first 1 minute candle. Let's take a look. So what are you watching, Brian?
I'm watching Dell and I'm watching Zscaler.
Yes.
I'm watching NVIDIA. NVIDIA's dropping. Zscaler looks like it's trying to hold here.
Yes.
But like I said, everything's dropping right out of the gate here.
I think it's not a bad
So-
long for the 1 minute ORB in Zim, but it just moved. Yeah, just out. ZS open
Dell.
weeks. Dell as well.
Yeah, Dell's looking like it's going to dip into this, dip into the pool here and short some Dell at 40.62.
Yep. Post market price, or now running into post market price action. Post market close.
Yeah. So the spread on it is pretty wide here. I'm not liking that.
So Zim at increasing RVOL is also a very strong sign. It started at 140%, now it's at 220%.
Well, Tesla's really dropping. I should be short NVIDIA or Tesla here.
Many stocks are dropping. Dell making a new low today.
Yeah. There we go. Just going to cover some here just to take some profits. Very nice. Thank you. Dell just covering some more, 139.40. Zscaler's really dropping here too.
Yeah, many stocks with earnings are dropping. Zscaler also GPS. Zim now has some topping action.
Wow.
Top.
NVIDIA is really dropping here. Okay, here we go. Here we go.
Dell continues to look weak.
Yeah. All right.
This is
here
very
we go. Yeah.
Also this nice retest at the pre-market low at 933. Came up, rejected pre-market low. Move down further.
Just I'm going to cover some more Dell here. 138.40. 44 filled.
Nvidia also dropping down further.
Yeah, NVIDIA is going back to PDC here by the looks of it. All right, so we've got 5 minutes into the trading day here.
Interesting to see what
So
Zim
we're
going to
going-
do.
As long as we stay below 140 here, I'm just going to stick with Dell. Stay with Dell. Still think we got some more downside here. There's lots of bids down below here on Dell. So let's see if we can come down and scoop those shares up. I know
Yeah,
Mike looks
definitely
like here.
Would look at 138 indeed. Very nice bits, big bits.
NVIDIA is bouncing a bit. Ooh, Tesla's bounced back there. AMD's bouncing back. Wow, Zscaler really sold off. That was actually a better short than Dell, unfortunately. Okay, Dell sort of is back in my break even here, so just keeping an eye on it. I don't have a lot of shares left. I'm going to probably bail on the rest of these.
Zim
Might
just made the
be
fight.
coming-
Yes.
I'm getting out of the rest of Dell. I don't like the way it's trading. It might even be a long here. So I'm out of the rest of Dell. Well, everything else. Wow, look at AMD. AMD is ripping. There goes NVIDIA's coming back up here. All right. Well, had a good trade on Dell. Did a fairly decent trade. It's probably now it looks like it's going to drop again here.
I think Sim could be stronger further stronger today. ZIM. Nice 5-minute ORB breakout, close above it, low volume on the red candles.
Are you looking at Zim?
Yeah.
Zim is a shipping company.
Yes,
Yeah,
look at
that. Wow, look at the daily on that thing. Holy cow.
Yeah. It made a huge move up, and then it would seem to be getting parabolic. Then it made a consolidation. There were earnings, got bought up, another move up. Last couple of days again in consolidation, and today strong again in the pre-market already. Increasing RVO, but so what else?
Take it.
It's a very pretty sell-off in Zscaler.
Yeah, no. It looks like it's kind of come down to S3 and might actually reverse here. So what does Zim look like? Taking a look at ZS here, possible bounce back. AMD is really breaking out here. Yeah, what does AMD look like? AMD's got a lot of activity up here.
Zscaler might also be at daily support area, right? Where you said was the S3 levels, also potentially a support on the daily chart. AMD is really strong indeed.
Yeah, I'm long AMD at 168.
Nice move up, pullback, lower volume.
Yes. Just going to take some off here at 168.50, just because we're getting up to yesterday's high, and I think we're going to probably reject here. Taking more off. 33. Just really had to chase this up, but there's definitely an order there at 169. I'm just worried about this Friday high level, Thursday high level. See, yeah, it's dropping back now. I get out of the rest flat just because I think that we're going to get a pullback here now. Yeah, that was a bit of a really. I'm not saying that wasn't an A plus setup. That was definitely chasing, but I thought it had a little bit more room in it to run before we hit some resistance there. Yesterday's high. Ching ching. We're getting those likes out, hopefully. Yeah, there goes Dell again, dropping again. All right, no trade for me right now. Tesla's looking a little strong. It looks like it might break out. Zscaler weak again. AMD, that definite push was sold into.
Shorting Dell. Let's see. Could make another move. That was a little bit too early. It should make a new low.
Yeah, there's definitely some lots of shares down 136.
Market's been strong, by the way.
Yeah, market's moving back up here.
Stop loss a little bit above the pre-market low. I got a question, where's my stop loss on Dell? Zscaler, by the way, made the reversal or is making the reversal currently.
I don't know where Dell's going. might be still heading lower here. It's a lot of bids down below here. So yeah, here we go. This could turn into a good short for you.
Yeah, let's see, now it should
Tesla went
break
through
down.
180.
I added a little bit to my Dell position.
Yeah, I'm short with you again here on Dell. I think we're heading lower here.
I think there's also enough room on the ATR left. Intraday, we just moved around $7. An ATR of around $12. So
Yeah, there's more
Also good.
room for Dell to go down.
They're rejecting the 9 EMA on the 1 minute chart.
Yeah,
That's a
it's
very
nice,
beautiful rejection.
rejection. Oh, Heyman traded Disney. Disney's up 90 cents.
So what else there was?
Tesla just tanked. Oh, the market just tanked. I don't know if there was some. No, I don't think there was any data that came out. The market definitely rolled over, though.
Yes.
SPY and the. Here we
So
go
what
with
else?
Dell. Nice Thor. Thor is short ES, which is the SPY minis futures.
Nice one.
Hopefully you got that drop. That was rejection at the pre-market high. Definitely seems to be some support here around 137.70 on Dell. Let's see if we can break that. Here we go.
I think it's really a fight. You see clearly the sellers on the top side rejecting it, but also definitely there seems to be some buying, some support.
Yeah.
This failed breakdown wasn't the most prettiest. However, still the pullbacks are pretty small. Like the green candles small, also still low volume.
Yeah.
So far, I still think the balance is a little bit more to the weakness, to the sellers.
Just going to cover some here, 25, 137.25.
Also considering taking a little bit up.
Yeah, just take a little bit off just in case. It seems to be quite bouncy. I'd like to see it lose this 137 level right now. I think 136 ultimately could be there. Nvidia's kind of dropping here. We shorted some Nvidia by buying puts.
Nice.
Bought the 1125s. Just selling some right now.
Actually, I have their level
Oh,
at
yeah.
1121.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
I had like a level 1121 on the 60-minute chart. It was like the range of the last couple
Just
of
sold
days.
sold more at 14. Wow, Nvidia gives you those nice little breakdown moves and breakouts. Can play it either way. So what I was looking at here on the chart on Bookmap was, it couldn't get above this level. Kept trying to get above sort of 11.8, and then we made this lower high here. Came back down to the VWAP, and I thought that's where we were going to lose the VWAP right here. So played that drop.
Nice.
Qs are rolling over, spies are rolling over. Hopefully, Thor, who's short the spy, is still holding some of those, I'm sure. Thor likes to get those big moves. Dell is
Zim
still
continued
holding.
its strength, by the way. Yeah, true.
Yeah, Dell is still holding this 137 level.
But it still looks weak again, like the low volume and a green candle. But I'll be getting out at my break-even point.
Here we go. This is what we're looking for right here. It's covering a little bit more at 136.80 on Dell. Zscaler's just dropping again here. Damn, that was a cleaner short, but anyway, you pick your poison when you start. Yeah, I think it has a lot more. It has more downside. It's just really putting up a fight here. Wow, Meta's rolling over too here.
Yes. It's now the low of the daily range. Interesting price point, potentially. Price action basically have been moving sideways on the daily chart throughout the whole May. Now running into the low of the range.
All right, I'm flat. I'm flat right now, except for this small Dell position. So,
Same here, but together in it.
Man, short Z-scaler, but it's right at, it's just chasing, that would be chasing. Wow, look at the Qs. Qs have gone red on the day. We're back down to low day on the Qs. Not low day. We're actually back down to yesterday's low right now.
Yep. You might be wondering if any news happened or something came
Yeah,
out.
I don't know. I was talking about on my weekend video, I was talking about these levels that on the Qs and the SPY, this Thursday level that last Thursday. And I thought that, that was a pretty important level for the SPY, and the bottom of that day was a pretty important level for the SPY and the Qs to hold.
Mm-hmm.
But we've lost that level. So like I said, I think we're heading lower. Yep. Excuse me.
Yeah, there's definitely some uncertainty in the markets.
Well, I think we were talking about this about a week ago, this AI being a bit of a bubble, and questioning whether that we're still a long way from seeing the benefits, and you're seeing that with some of the reports that are coming out. CRM kind of poked a bit of a hole in the value of AI at this point.
Mm-hmm. Speaking about AI,
just like the internet bubble, there's going to be winners and losers, and not every company is going to see the benefits of AI. So,
yep, indeed. AI, the company, by the way, had yesterday earnings, and now it's sold off after them open and showed more strength. I'm not a really big fan of the second day usually, but
it's coming back up here. It's going to be it's at pre-market high right now. I'm not sure if this. I'm pretty sure this is true, but I was reading something about Kathy Wood, the famous Kathy Wood. She bought like 450,000 shares of Path like a day or two before it reported.
Oh wow!
And it dropped from like $19 to $12. So
we know what happened to Path yesterday. She must have woken up and thinking something is out there trying to get me.
Talk about a YOLO trade. I mean, she would like got on this YOLO path. Man, oh man! Like if I'm pretty sure it's true. I mean, I was trying to fact check it because you can't obviously believe everything you read on the internet, especially these days. But she clearly didn't read my book about not buying, not buying into just before a binary event. Yeah. Anyway, I have to do more fact checking on that, but it's just amazing. People still, even when you look at the performance of ARK, I mean, it's amazing. She still has people that invest.
Mm-hmm.
Zscaler is still selling off here, but there's no liquidity grab unless you get down to 160.
And Dell, by the way, out of break even in my Dell trade. Now it's moving back up again.
Yeah, she could have help with coin and Tesla. Well, Tesla's. I thought her entry price in Tesla was a lot higher. Could be wrong.
Yeah.
Well, I'm out of the rest of Dell that didn't came back up here, so I'm flat. I'm kind of looking at Zscaler. I'm trying not to get FOMO at this point.
But the trend is definitely there, the weak trend. Up down, small pull, rejection, big candle, but now it's of course also a little bit too late, I think. Made one nice move down, pull back, second move down. But the trend is there.
All right, guys, out on YouTube, please do like, subscribe. If you've been joining us and maybe doing a few trades with us here. Wow, there we go. Q's just lost yesterday's low. I got long some SQQQ, which is a ETF that's short the Qs. So
nice. Let's go. Well then.
Oh, Nvidia's looks like it's got some levels coming that are going to be lower.
There is some more room to the downside.
You can still get some 1150 calls today. You can still get almost $1 for them on Nvidia.
Sim, by the way, looks pretty choppy. It's like very much in a range. Yes, it's making higher lows, but it also looks pretty erratic. Move up, move down, move up, move down. Doesn't really seem like very a clear balance to the buyers. Even though we're definitely above the daily range, above the pre-market price action, above the opening range. But now it's clearly ranging.
It's 449 is on QQQ is low of the pre-market. Watch that for a possible bounce, and if we lose that level, we could have a lot more downside. Tesla's still strong. At least nobody's selling Tesla. All right, let's see what some of our other traders did this morning. Aaron.
Yeah, I'm also pretty curious.
Yeah, Nvidia did a short on Nvidia prior to the market open, and you kind of stuck with that one. But got a nice cover on the way on it, and when it sold off. So Jazz, what did you do? Jazz sorted Google, nice on that spike up. Nice.
I think it's a pretty calm day today. Not
Yeah,
too
well,
much is happening.
It's a Friday. We got this PCE data that came out, so
Yeah. No surprises, in the PCE data.
no, PCE data came in like literally right. Everything was pretty much as expected.
Yeah.
So what have we got here? Yields are back up a bit, or down, I should say. TLT's up. if the yields are down, the dollar's down, which it is a bit. Still a bit of green on the screen here. Did Disney, I've been watching Disney to hit 100 here. It did actually drop down.
Interesting price action in Disney, like trading completely independent from the rest of the market, but it's like it has only 56% RVOL. So not a lot of volume
Yeah.
today, but it seems to be trading independent.
All right. What else? Anyone else did some good trades today? So dipped. Nice. You got I was looking at Lulu this morning. I've been looking at it because it looks like it's kind of found a bottom here at around 300, and looking at possible gap fill around 320.
Yeah, you mentioned it yesterday. Now it already broke off the recent daily range, so that looks good.
Yeah, it's out of this bit of area of consolidation here. This sort of 307 to 295-ish area,
like a little island over there after the gap down.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's definitely a nice gap to fill. Also giving a pretty good risk to reward, I think.
This is, of course, today is zero DTE day for all the weekly options. So I'd like to try to look at some of these stocks that where I can sell some premium on and not take any overnight risk, because I just sell the Fridays. Every week I've been selling Netflix calls or puts. So, and then just keeping the premium at the end of the day. So Netflix kind of 650 kind of looks maybe interesting. Just sell some calls and then set a stop, and then just hope the stop doesn't get hit. So I take a small risk and look to collect that premium at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Cover a lot of that in my options trading book. Ooh, look at AMD. AMD is breaking out. Broke out through the yesterday's high.
It's a nice breakout indeed. It's a high volume.
Yeah.
Spiking.
NVIDIA's back at the VWAP. Yeah, so I'm not really that keen to take any other trades. I've had some good trades today, so this isn't typically the time of day where I make money, but there's certainly lots of still should be some opportunities for people to make money with their own trading strategies. Fridays are typically a day where, after you get a little bit of market action, especially in the summer, get some market action, and then that volume tends to drop off a little bit. And then it can get a little quiet going into the rest of the day here. Volatility usually drops off.
Perhaps Dell starts to look a little bit more weak now. I agree, it's a very, very calm day, especially this Friday, but perhaps Dell could set up a little bit more. I like this rejection right from pre-market low. Double top at 9:58, 9:59 and 10 a.m. But I prefer to still not trade it if it's still in the range. Unless it looks really, really good. I was looking at Penn as well in the morning. Take a look at Penn. Like it really had a super strong pre-market price action. It seemed to be in play. Now it's also breaking out. I don't think there was any interesting setup in it. I also couldn't find any specific catalyst. Dell nearing the low of the day now. Could be some more downside in it for sure. But the question is there also a nice entry possible?
It just seems like, this level here, sort of 130, it's breaking this low here that it put in earlier, 136.70.
Nice volume candles setting up on big volume.
Yeah. We're getting more selling on the Qs. Getting some selling on the SPY. SPY looks like it's going to go red. Dell's kind of lost that level. It looks like it's dropping. Qs are dropping. SPY's gone red. So I'm still long this SQQ, which is short the Qs. It's probably going to be a swing trade. This is probably going to be a swing trade for me.
So you're gonna hold it overnight? You're long at the SQQ?
Yeah, hold it over the weekend. I think we're going to get a pullback on the markets just overall. Like I said, I was kind of watching these levels here. It's kind of a late entry. I wish I should have taken that yesterday, but this worked out anyway, regardless. Because we did pop up a bit to this morning. All right. A lot of these stocks are really getting beaten up here today, some of these high flyers.
Yep.
Look at NVIDIA's daily. There is a gap to fill here back at sort of 1065. We could easily head back there. There's a moving on the daily as well. We might go red on Nvidia too. Oh wow, AMD. That's kind of the weird. What a weird move on AMD. Looked like it was going to break out. It broke out
Yeah.
on the daily range, today's range, and it broke through yesterday's high, and then it just V reversed.
Completely V reverse, yeah.
Look at Nvidia. Nvidia's going to go red. Well, I should be selling put. I should be buying puts right now. Damn.
There could definitely be some profit taken out on Nvidia. It would be the right moment.
Yeah.
Participants who are in long.
Mike was talking. He's got an interesting thought about Nvidia. He's Mike, one of our moderators, thinks that Nvidia will, after it splits. I think it's the June 8th. After it splits, it'll drop, and he says that's when he's going to buy. He's going to step in and buy this.
Okay.
And what did you do there? Wow, nice catch on AMD there. That was quite a move. That false breakout on AMD. Crystal Castle, nice catch on Dell. Some of our traders, a lot of our traders are making some coin for the weekend. Nice short on it. Yeah, beauty. Look at that. Nvidia's gone red. It's going to be interesting to see how we end the day here, whether the buying brigade's going to come in or they've already taken off. They've already taken off for the weekend.
Yeah. Yesterday they were a little bit disappointing. At least like SPY, it got bought up yesterday during the day, but in the end of the day, it sold off hard.
Yeah.
So was there any news actually yesterday why it sold off later?
I don't know. I can only speculate that maybe people were nervous about holding into the PCE number.
Could be, yeah.
Look at this. We're testing. We're red on Nvidia right now. We might actually, like I said, that 1068 level, 1070 level, a gap fill, 1065.
But we look at Dell, also interesting. Low volume in the pullback. That's a really signal of weakness. See like the range getting very tight in the 1013, 1014, 1015 candle. Then it breaks up, rejects. And then we're having like a very high volume sell-off.
Yeah, I think you're right, Aaron. 1064, 1065, that gap fill definitely in play. We'll see if Nvidia manages to get back red on the day or green on the day. Apple's still holding in there. It's still green.
Apple has been doing its own thing in the last couple of days, last couple of weeks. Really holding a very tight range on the daily chart, Apple. That's the one also holding today.
Not much of a bounce on Nvidia at the PDC, which kind of would have expected.
Yep. I really think and Dell showed very weak price action in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah. We were getting quite extended here from the moving averages, so probably should get a bit of a bounce here. There's lots of weakness here. The markets, like I said, we may get some buying a little later on, but
AI showing interesting price action. I think the second day that we discussed. Moving up, consolidation, another move up. Now we're also breaking above yesterday's high, 29.19. So loads of RVOL, more than 300%. So I think AI could move further today.
Nvidia is actually finding a bit of support here at yesterday's low, which isn't really surprising, but the Qs just continue to sell off here. So I'm just continuing to stick with my QQQ short at this point.
Yeah, nice.
AI's broken out from yesterday's high.
And it's all day already trading independent.
Yeah. Wow, Qs just continue to head lower. I just continue to hold this short position on the Qs. It's got to bounce here somewhere.
Wow, new low for SPY.
Yep. Oh yeah, look
As
at this. We've lost yesterday's low. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna sell some SQQ here. right at this S4 level, 447.20-ish area.
Nice. So taking some profit.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
good.
just taking some profit here because I think we're getting so extended. I think we're going to bounce here. So I did have a pretty big position on that one, in that Q trade. See, look at that. What did I tell you? Did you see that? Look at that. Here's your
Yes,
bounce. Yeah, look at this drop. Yeah, I know, eh? Peter, tell me you were short. Yeah, Chick, I think I like you, Chick. I mean, this is where I saw support here at 447 area. Now, what it does here, you look at the Qs. I'm looking at a gap fill here on the Qs. There's a gap that happened back on May 15th. For May 14th to May 15th, we had a gap up. So we're looking at a gap, probable gap fill. So markets hate gaps in price. So quite often that's why eventually you get these gap fills. So if I'm looking at this gap fill, the closing price on that day was roughly 446. So if you're looking at QQQs, 446 will be a gap fill. That should be some area of significant support. And if we lose that level, it could be 440, 439. I mean, it wasn't long ago we pulled back in April. Middle of April, like literally a month ago, we were down around 415. So yeah, that was an incredible short. So what did you do? So you were shorting Dell. Nice trade. Beautiful. And you did some trades on Tesla as well. Awesome. I love the way you sort of memorialize your trading and do the notes. It's a great way to if you're starting out trading, or if you just want a good way to journal your trades. It's an awesome way to do that. Nice short on AMD. And I don't even, your long name, you should figure out something shorter. Shamira Mon. I'm terrible at pronouncing names. But anyway, that nice setup on that AMD trade. SPY, nice short on the SPY by Rebel. And let's see what our buddy Avi did. Avi's trading the SPX. You caught that. That was just another way to trade the trade I did, just buying SQQQ. Avi shorted using some futures. Very nice. $7,200 day.
Nice one, Avi. Great.
You're referring to NVIDIA? Okay, let's just take a look and see what see where NVIDIA goes. Well, sort of same rule applies here. There's a big gap. We had a gap between May 24th and the 28th. So over the long weekend, huge gap up. We could be coming back to fill that gap. And the high was on the Friday was was 1060. Just call it 1065. Okay, everybody on YouTube, we are going to call it a day. I just hope everyone had a decent trading day. Again, this was an awesome day for trading and lots of volatility. So if you're a day trader, we love this volatility. So yeah, so if you want to join us live in the trading room, you know how to do it. Hopefully, at the very least, you'll join us again on Monday. So we'll see you later. Have a great weekend, everybody. Ciao for now.
You have a great week. Thank you all. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Lenny.
That's interesting, and we see each other, speak to each other later. Bye-bye.
Okay, cheers. Bye now. See ya.